Once upon a time, in a small village in Nigeria, there lived a woman named Adiz. She was married to a kind man named Chinedu. Chinedu loved Adiz very much and worked hard to make her happy. But Adiz was not happy. She had a secret. She was in love with another man named Emeka. Emeka was handsome and charming, and Adiz liked him more than her husband. They started meeting in secret, and soon, Adiz wanted to be with Emeka all the time. She didn't want to be married to Chinedu anymore. One day, Adiz came up with a plan. She decided to get rid of Chinedu so she could be with Emeka. She put some poison in Chinedu's food. When Chinedu ate the food, he felt very sick and soon passed away. Everyone in the village was sad, but they didn't know that Adiz was the one who had killed him. After Chinedu was buried, Adiz ran to Emeka, thinking they could finally be together. But Emeka was not happy to see her. He told her he didn't want to be with someone who could kill her own husband. Emeka left Adiz, and she was all alone. She felt very sad and scared. She didn't know what to do next. Adiz's secret started to eat away at her. She couldn't sleep at night because she kept hearing Chinedu's voice in her dreams. The villagers began to notice that Adiz looked worried and tired all the time. They started to wonder if something was wrong. One day, a wise elder named Neka came to visit Adiz. Neka had known Adiz since she was a little girl. She sat down with Adiz and looked into her eyes. "Adiz," Neka said gently, "I know something is troubling you. You can tell me the truth?" Adiz felt a lump in her throat. She wanted to tell someone what she had done, but she was so scared. Tears started to roll down her cheeks as she looked at Neka. Adiz took a deep breath and wiped her tears. She looked at Neka, who was patiently waiting for her to speak. Finally, Adiz decided to tell the truth. "Neka," Adiz began, her voice shaking, "I did something terrible. I killed Chinedu." Neka's eyes widened with shock, but she quickly regained her composure. She reached out and held Adiz's hands, her voice soft but firm. "Tell me everything, Adiz. Why did you do such a thing?" Through her sobs, Adiz told Neka about Emeka and how she had wanted to be with him so badly that she poisoned Chinedu. She explained how Emeka had left her and how guilty she felt now. Neka listened carefully, then spoke. "What you did was very wrong, Adiz, but keeping it inside will only make things worse. You need to tell the village what happened. It's the only way to find peace." Adiz was terrified at the thought of confessing to the village. "They will hate me, Neka. They will never forgive me." "Perhaps," Neka said gently, "but hiding the truth will only bring more pain. You need to be honest, and maybe, just maybe, they will understand and forgive you." With Neka's support, Adiz decided to face the village. The next morning, Neka called a meeting in the village square. Everyone gathered, curious about what was happening. Adiz stood in front of them, trembling with fear. With Neka by her side, Adiz began to speak. "My dear friends and family, I have something very important to tell you. I killed my husband, Chinedu." Gasps and murmurs spread through the crowd. Adiz continued, tears streaming down her face. She told them everything, from her affair with Emeka to her plan to kill Chinedu. The village was silent for a moment, absorbing the shocking news. Then, one by one, people began to speak. "How could you do such a thing?" one woman shouted. "We trusted you, Adiz," another man cried. Neka raised her hand to quiet the crowd. "Adiz has done a terrible thing, but she has also shown great courage in confessing to us. We must decide together what to do." The village elders gathered to discuss what should happen next. After a long deliberation, they decided that Adiz would be banished from the village. She would have to leave and start a new life elsewhere. Adiz accepted her punishment, knowing it was the right thing. She packed her few belongings and, with a heavy heart, left the village she had once called home. As she walked away, she felt a strange mix of sadness and relief. She knew she had a long and difficult journey ahead, but she was determined to find a way to make amends for what she had done. Adiz walked for days, feeling the weight of her actions with every step. She finally reached a distant village called Amakiri. Exhausted and alone, she approached the village elders and asked for their permission to stay. The elders, sensing her deep sorrow, allowed her to stay under one condition. She must work hard and contribute to the community. Grateful for a second chance, Adiz agreed. She worked tirelessly, helping with the farming, fetching water, and caring for the children. Slowly, the villagers of Amakiri began to trust her. Adiz never spoke of her past, but she carried the lesson of her actions in her heart every day. One day, a wise old woman named Mama Udo noticed Adiz's sadness. She invited Adiz to sit with her and share her burden. For the first time since leaving her village, Adiz told Mama Udo everything. Mama Udo listened carefully, then spoke softly. "We all make mistakes, Adiz. What matters is what we do after we realize our wrongs. You have been working hard here, and you have shown that you are willing to change." Adiz nodded, tears filling her eyes. "I just want to find a way to make things right."
Mama Udo smiled kindly.
"You cannot change the past, but you can live your life in a way that honors Chinedu's memory. Help others, be kind, and always choose the right path." Years passed, and Adiz became a beloved member of the Amakiri village. She was known for her kindness and her willingness to help anyone in need. She taught the children the importance of honesty and the consequences of their actions. Through her hard work and dedication, she found a sense of peace and purpose. One day, a young girl in the village asked Adiz, "Why do you always help others so much?" Adiz smiled gently and replied, "Because I made a terrible mistake once, and I learned that our actions have consequences. It's important to do good and be kind, so we can make the world a better place."